And so what God does as Adam goes to sleep, if you can picture my hand here as being the representation of Adam in the Garden of Eden, what God basically does at that point was he comes and he does a spiritual surgery. He actually opens up the side of Adam. He reaches into the very body of Adam and pulls out a rib. He then closes up that wound in the body of Adam, and from that rib, he now creates another individual called Eve. Now, the point I want to make is this. If you want to see the image of God in the Garden of Eden at this point, where do you look? If you look only at Adam, the man that God has made, you are missing one whole half of the image. If you look at the woman that God has made, you're missing one half of the image. And it's clear that she is the image of God because God didn't reach down and take more dust from the ground when he was making this creation. You know, he reaches into the very body of the man, which means that the female was contained basically in the man's own body, and God makes this distinction. What God does in the creation of the woman is he separates his image and divides it into two pieces. But God is never a God of division. God is always a God of unity and harmony. And so God himself now performs the very first marriage ceremony, and he says these words to Adam and Eve. He said, "The two shall become one flesh." And so Adam, who was made in the image of God, and the woman who was made in the image of God are now joined together as one flesh in this union actually pronounced and performed by the Lord and the King of the universe. He is the minister that performs the very first marriage ceremony. And so as we look at the man and the woman standing in unity in their personal relationship with one another, when Satan looks at a Christian marriage, the glorious truth here is that Christian marriage is intended to display to this hurt, dying, broken world what it means to be in the very image of God himself. What a glorious truth that is.